everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Lumi Knits podcast. My name's Hayley and I'm coming to you from Wadawurrung land. I would like to extend my gratitude to the Wadawurrung people for their continuing ongoing custodianship of the beautiful land on which I live and work, and I would also like to recognise their connection to the lands, skies and waterways. I'm coming to you from outside today because we've got some sun, it's beautiful, and I just thought rather than sitting in, I would come out. I have a squeaky chair, so if you hear that squeaking, that's what's going on today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you in the intro. Well, I should probably welcome all the new subscribers that have jumped on. I think mentioning the field sweater in your podcast makes YouTube push your content out a little more. I've had a bunch of new subscribers since my last video, so welcome. I hope there's something here for you. And to all my returning viewers, thanks for coming back. It's been a really weird couple of weeks. Lots has been going on. I'm all recovered from having my appendix out, which is great. And yeah, we've just sort of jumped back into working and life with, all guns blazing, and it's exhausting. So I'm having a bit of a quiet day at home today. It's the first day I've had in a while because we had gastro go through our house, which was gross, and it meant that everyone was home all the time. So it's really nice to be at home by myself, to be able to get a few things done. I've spent the morning sort of cleaning and baking and ticking jobs off the list, that pretty normal. And now I've got an hour or so where I can sit down and have a chat with you and show you what's been going on. So I don't think I mentioned it on the last podcast because I didn't think of it until after the podcast, but I've been working on my husband's Sonder jumper for his birthday, which is coming up this Sunday, the 22nd of October. And I was really worried I wasn't going to get it finished, so I decided to have a big push and just try and get that thing done, because I think I still had about most of the body and both arms to go, and it was not looking good for me. So I called it the Lumi Knits Blitz, and I invited anyone who had a deadline project that they really wanted to finish to join me and try and blitz that project. And I worked relentlessly on this thing. My wrist got sore, my elbow got sore, my shoulder got sore, but I just really wanted it done for his birthday because frankly I was sick and tired of brown. I was so sick of it. And so I finished it, I think, on the 10th, so almost 2 weeks early, which I was very, very pleased with. And so I'm going to show that to you right now because I am so glad not to have to be looking at it anymore. It's come up beautifully. It's not the fault of the pattern by any stretch. It is just the endless brown got a bit wearing for me. So this is, it's quite large, so I'm probably going to have trouble showing it. So this is the yoke. The eagle-eyed among you will notice that there's an error in this section of the yoke. There's not supposed to be it sort of looks like an 8. It's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like a 0. But I made a mistake and I wasn't ripping back. So he liked it. He says it's fine. This is all blocked. I just have to trim off some ends and then I'm ready to gift it to him on Sunday. And I am going to be happy not to be working on it anymore. So I'm really happy with the sleeves. At first I was worried that the increases and decreases were visible towards the front, but when we tried this on my husband, you couldn't see them at all. And I think they're probably my neatest increases and decreases that I've ever done. So that's something. I did twisted rib for the sleeve, for the cuffs and the collar and the hem, just because my twisted rib is so much nicer than my normal 1x1 rib. I knit this in Bendigo Woolen Mills rustic 8-ply and just some sort of generic cozy wool or something from Lincraft or Spotlight, one of the big box stores that I've been hanging on to for years and years and years, and I'm almost through it, so I'm really glad to be making a dent in that. So that's the very dark brown, and the lighter brown is the Bendigo Woolen Mills, and that's in a colourway called Earth. And it's a really nice colour when you're doing, you know, a hat or something, but when you're doing a huge jumper, it's a lot. So anyway, that's the Sonder sweater by Petit Knit, ready to give to my husband on Sunday. So I did it, and I'm very proud of myself. I do have another finished object to show you, because while I was blitzing, I decided to really blitz, and that is the Ruffle Socks by Petit Knit. I've been working on these for a while. These have been my travel knit, and they've come up really nicely. They're in this beautiful colourway by Yarns by the Bay. I've talked about it in my other videos, and they're just a basic sock with a ruffle cuff. I think I did a fish lips kiss heel and the socks without ears, toes without ears toe, which I found on Modern Daily Knitting, because I don't know, I always find my toes when I knit my socks are too square. So I'm pretty happy with the toes on these. They're just a bunch of decreases, and then at the end you just thread through the last 8 stitches or so. And yeah, the socks are really cute. I'm looking forward to wearing them. I haven't worn them yet because I was saving them to show. Obviously I've got 2, which is nice because I have 2 feet. Yeah, there's not really much to say about this. After the last time I knit these, I said I wasn't going to knit them again, because casting on that many stitches and then the decreasing and the decreasing when you're working on 9-inch circulars is a big task, and I didn't enjoy it. And I also don't enjoy the picking up of the stitches under the ruffle. So nice pattern, it's probably great for some people, but for me it's just not something that I think I'll knit again. So that's where I'm at with finished objects. What else was I going to say? Oh, the summer tee that I showed in the last one, I didn't bring it with me. I've had a change of heart regarding the yarn that I was going to use. I was going to use a wool with a linen blend, which was the main body. I've decided that I'm going to use bamboo instead, and I've sort of picked up the stitches on one sleeve, and I'm sort of messing around with that at the moment, but I haven't really done enough to show you. So hopefully next time I catch up with you, I will have something to show you in regards to that summer tee. I've got a few works in progress, as you know, and I'm not going to show all of them. I'm only going to show you the ones that I've actually made progress on. So the first one that I'll show you was a bit of an out of the blue knit. It was one of the ones where, you know, someone releases a pattern and they've got a discount code, and you look at the pattern and you're like, oh, I must knit, must buy, must knit. So I did buy, and I have been knitting, and these are the Little Dot Socks by Summer Lee Design Co. And they are so cute. I'm knitting this in a Bendigo Woolen Mills Baby Merino, I think, just a 4-ply, and then I'm using the leftover socks, this leftover sock yarn from the Ruffle Socks for the dots. The only problem with that is that there is some yellow in that sock yarn, and so I'm not sure if you can see, sometimes the yellow gets lost in the main colour, but as far as it goes, I'm really enjoying it, and I think it looks really lovely. And because it's an afterthought heel, this is just a travel knit, and I'm just going to knit this until I'm ready to stop and then I'll decide where my heel's going to go and that kind of thing. The pattern's great. If you're a person that doesn't like the sort of staggered dot pattern, there's straight dot pattern in there for you. It's really, yeah, it's a really great little pattern, and I'm very much looking forward to getting these done. My only concern is that because it's colourwork sock, that it may be a bit tight, but if it is, you know, I'll give it to someone. I'll just turn it inside out so you can see my floats. Aren't they looking great? I'm really happy with the tension. I usually knit colourwork with one yarn over my pointer finger and one yarn over my middle finger, so I don't have to switch all the time. But with this one, because I'm using 9-inch circulars, I don't have enough room on the needle to be able to be holding both yarns at the same time, so it's a pick up and put down process. And I thought it would be incredibly tedious and I would get sick of it and I wouldn't like it. But I'm actually really, really enjoying doing it that way, which is funny because I thought that it would be something that I wouldn't really like. But it's been really fun. I've been heading off on my work lunch breaks and going to the gardens that are near my work and doing some knitting there, and that's been lovely because we're finally getting some nice weather. Work's a bit weird at the moment because I'm on a 1-year contract and I'm part-time, and the school assured me that I was a long-term member of staff and someone they were looking forward to having around. And then I was told last week that they would not be advertising any part-time positions, only full-time, and I'm just not in a place where I want to or need to work full-time. I've got too much to do at home. I can't work full-time. So that was a bit disappointing, but I feel as though it's probably for the best because I haven't been overly happy at my job. It's been a really challenging year for me. Coming back from family leave into a school is always tricky, and given it's a new school as well for me, I found it a tricky year. So I think I'm just going to bow out gracefully and see what else is on the horizon for me. I think I'm going to look outside of education, which is crazy because I've been a teacher since I was 23. So, 18 years. How old am I? Yeah, 18 years. I've been a teacher for 18 years. And I don't really know how to do anything else. But, I'm trying to look at it as a good opportunity to sort of see where life takes me. So, anyway, that had nothing to do with knitting, but that's what's going on with me. So, Little Dot Socks by Summer Lee Design Co. I'm really enjoying them. Here's the one that everyone's interested in. My beautiful field sweater. It's coming along so nicely and it's such a pleasure. I was talking to my husband about it this morning, and he's been a huge a supporter of my knitting. Like he's always encouraging me and he listens to me talk about it. But he really encouraged me to buy this yarn, which was normal, like a bit higher than the price point that I usually would spend. Does that make sense? Higher than the price? Yep. It's more than I'd usually spend on a jumper, but he sees the value in it, not just as a finished garment, but as a process. And so I was talking about it with him, and every time I pick this up, I am grateful that I did purchase this yarn, which is the Great Ocean Road Woolen Mills La Bella in honeycomb, an 8-ply, and it's an alpaca blend. I can't remember exactly what the blend is, but you can see I've split for the body. I think I just split for the body last time, and I'm making slow progress on the body. I can't wait to try it on, but I'm going to go a bit further before I do that, because I'm not going for anything overly cropped, or I just want a normal length jumper that I can wear with my clothes. But it's beautiful. All the ones that I've seen knitted up I've thought are beautiful, and I think mine's beautiful. So if you're thinking about knitting the field sweater, go for it. It's fun. The grains are a challenge, and I had a comment on my last video asking if I'd do a little tutorial about how to do the grains, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because I don't really feel confident in setting up the camera and that kind of thing. But I have noticed that there are a few tutorials coming up now on YouTube for people. I can see if I can pop some links in on this show. So I'm sorry I can't help you out. I just don't feel I don't feel qualified. But my advice is just do exactly what the pattern says. Don't think about it, just do it. Where it says knit, knit. Where it says wrap, wrap. Sorry, I had a phone call come in and it sort of cut me off halfway through, which is pretty crazy because I don't get that many phone calls. So field sweater, love, 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 love the yarn, love the pattern, love the way it's coming up. I am spending a bit of time on it because I'm a little torn I really want the finished product, but I really don't want to stop knitting with this yarn. So probably when I finish this, I will go and buy some more. I really should use up my stash yarn though. I do have some Bendigo Woolen Mills 12 ply rustic in the mustard colour that I really love, but I just can't land on a pattern for it, and I don't like knitting sleeves on magic loop. But given that it's a 12 ply, which I think is an Aran weight or a worsted weight, I don't have 9-inch circulars that are big enough to be able to knit them on a 9-inch circular, and I probably wouldn't be able to anyway because there'd be too much bulk on the needles. But I tell myself that's what's holding me back on that. And I also have a sweaters quantity of the Bendigo Woolen Mills Galaxy yarn, I think it is, and that's in a really beautiful emerald colourway, which I was going to use to knit the Lodestar many years ago. Is that recording? Yes, it is. But I just couldn't get the pattern right. I couldn't get past the yoke, and I tried and tried and tried. I think I tried 4 times, and I'd get almost to the end of it, and then the stitch count would be out, and it was the same every time, and I just wasn't able to do it. So I decided to frog that. So I've got 2 sweater quantities of yarn just sitting in there that really do need my attention before I go buying something else. But I'm probably just going to go buy something else because that's where I'm at these days. The Flannel and Pearls knit along is something I was desperate to do, and I was so desperate to do it that I made a an impulse yarn buy. So I really wanted to cast on the 1st of October, even though I was still working on my husband's jumper at that time. So I took my 5-year-old daughter to Spotlight, and she helped me pick out some yarn, which was super difficult because Spotlight yarns at the moment are not great. There's just a lot of acrylic, even things that don't seem acrylic. Once you read the ball band, they're acrylic. I didn't really like the colours of the non-acrylic stuff, and I was a bit stuck. And so she's only got, she's pretty good, but her Spotlight stamina is not huge. So we had to make a decision, and we had to get going. And I wanted something that wasn't brown, and so I bought this Keepsake Yarn Co. Essence yarn, and it's 100% merino. And like, merino's nice, but I knit my Shimo sweater in merino, and I've just never loved it as much as I feel like I should. I think it's because the stitch definition is so clear. Like, there's no fuzz like there is in, you know, the alpaca blend, or even the pure wool. There's no fuzz at all to it, and I should know better. Like, I should have known that this probably wasn't going to fill the void that I wanted it to fill. But anyway, regardless, I had a plan, and I went with the plan, and I knit one knit. I can't remember the name of this pattern. It's a lovely pattern. I think it's designed for a heavier weight yarn, and I've made it smaller. I did one less repeat. I think I cast on 40 stitches instead of 50, and it looks quite tiny, but when I put my hand in, which I will do to show you, it actually does fit. It's very stretchy, but the problem is I don't love it. And I think I'm probably going to pull it out, and I don't know what I'll do with the yarn. It seems like something I'll probably make a hat or something for my son, maybe. And I'm going to have to choose something from my stash for the mid-along because I really want to be a part of it. I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball already. So I'm going to probably take a look on Ravelry and see what else I can come up with. It'll probably be a cable pattern because I'm doing the Colourworks socks. But we're going camping this weekend, and I do need a small project to take with me, and the socks are fun, but they can wait. I really do want to participate in this mid-along and actually have some mitts at the end of it. In an ideal world, I would be confident enough that I could make some mitts out of the yarn that I'm using for my field sweater, but yarn chicken freaks me out, and I don't like it, and I don't want to waste a single piece length of that yarn. even my swatch, usually when I swatch I'll just knit in the round, and you know, you sort of run the yarn at the back and then cut it and pin it, but I don't like doing that because I don't like wasting the yarn. So I did that, and then I pulled it out and wound it up into a little ball to use at another time. So I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to, you know, nice yarn. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I do have some more 4-ply from Yarns by the Bay. There's a really nice sort of purpley colour one that might make just a pair of plain mitts rather than cabling. That might be nice just to do in the round or something like that. But anyway, so I'll link the pattern below because it is a really pretty pattern, and I think it would be good in a sort of heavier, really rustic sort of yarn, but just not in this. So I'm probably going to pull this out later on and then hide it in my yarn drawer, yarn timeout. Yeah, I did write up some show notes, but I didn't print them off. I'm really pleased with myself that I remembered to do my acknowledgement of country and that it came out okay. So good job to me. It's something that's important to me and that I want to do, and I want to be genuine, which is why I've written my own instead of, you know, just doing the sort of standard one. Off track again. Sorry, everyone. Oh, one thing that I might talk about is I've been watching a bunch of podcasts lately. Some people are doing Vlogtober, which is really fun. So I've been watching Susan, who used to be Knitlib and now she's not a lazy Susan. So I really enjoy hers. I've been watching Jessica Faith Cooper, her Vlogtober stuff, and I've just started watching Make a Bee, who's really fun, and I've really enjoyed her videos. Yeah, so it's always nice to have a bit of knitting content to watch on YouTube while I'm doing some knitting myself, or you know, even when I'm doing sort of boring stuff on the computer, I have the knitting video on one screen and my boring stuff on the other screen. Yeah, so it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. I don't think I could ever do Vlogtober. I struggle enough just to do a podcast, but I do think sometimes throughout the day, well, maybe I should take a little video of this, or maybe I should do something like that, but I just never, I don't know if anyone would be interested in it. My days are not that fascinating. Yeah, so in terms of my upcoming plans, it's just really getting some of these, well, not getting them finished off because I'm really enjoying them. I'm enjoying the process of what I'm doing, but I guess my upcoming plans is really just to get some mitts going. That's going to be my focus, I think, for the next couple of weeks up until the end of October. October in Australia is very different to October in the Northern Hemisphere, obviously. Our weather's really different, but also Halloween here is not like it is in the Northern Hemisphere. I was never a Halloween person before. I lived in Canada for a year and got to experience Canadian Halloween, and then I made the decision that if I was ever to have children, I would want them to have that much fun. So we are Halloween converts at my house. I know it's not an overly popular opinion to have in Australia, especially not with some people I know, but we just have so much fun. I took the kids trick-or-treating for the first time last year, and we had an absolute blast. Like, aside from the crazy amounts of lollies that they got, they loved like going to people's houses and dressing up, and it's just a really fun thing for them. Although some of the decorations are super scary. My kids not super resilient with scary stuff, or my little one is, but my oldest is quite sensitive, and it freaked him out a bit, but as he gets older he's getting better at that. So we were talking about costumes. My little girl wants to go as Doc McStuffins, so I'm going to have to go and find a doctor's kit somewhere, and my son wants to go as a ninja, which is easy because he goes as a ninja to absolutely any dress up event that he can. So we're sort of pros at dressing up as a ninja, and I'm trying to think of what I'm going to dress up as, because I love dressing up too, and I don't want to take them trick-or-treating if I'm not dressed up as well. So I'm going to try and think of something fun to dress up as. I was thinking of like a ghost. I know it's a bit cliche, but I have never seen a ghost when I've been trick-or-treating, like, you know, a sheet with the eye holes. I think that would be really fun, but I don't know, it might be a little too low effort. Anyway, if you've got any ideas for a sort of moderate effort Halloween costume for me, please pop them in the comments below, because I'm not having a lot of success thinking of something. I was thinking of dressing up as Frida, but I just don't think I could pull it off. I don't have anything that's appropriate for that. It would be fun. Maybe that's something I can start looking out in the op shops for next year. And I can't go as a witch again. I went as a witch last year, and every other time I've ever dressed up, I'm usually a witch, because I've got a dress that I really like. Yeah, so yeah, let me know if you can think of anything that you think would suit me for my Halloween costume. Thanks for watching. This has been a little bit of a departure from my normal one, because it's been a lot more chit chat, but that's okay. Hopefully I can edit the 2 sections together, and we'll see how we go. All my links to things I've talked about will be in the thing down the bottom, the show notes. You can find me on Instagram at lumi.knits and on Ravelry at Lumi Knits AU, all lowercase. And yeah, it's been great having a chat with you. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time.